Finder settings that you should know, especially if you're new to Mac. The first thing we are going to do is open Finder. To open Finder, you can just click on this smiling face icon that is blue and white. If not, you can just press Command plus Tab and go to Finder. So even if I close any application and press Command plus Tab, Finder is always going to be there. So Command and Tab could always be your Finder shortcut. So as you can see, I have opened up Finder and the default page, what it is coming to is documents. This can be changed according to your needs. For this, you have to press Command plus comma, or you can just go to Finder and click on settings over here. So these are your Finder settings. By default, you will come up in the general tab, and here you can see new Finder windows show documents. So that is why documents is the default folder that Finder has opened up. So here you want to click on this, and let's say you want to explore desktop every time you open up Finder, and that can be done as well. If not, you can just open this mymactalk folder that I have, and that can be opened as well. If you don't want that, if you're coming from Windows, this PC as an application is very useful for you. In that case, you can go to your MacBook Air or Macintosh HD, which is your hard drive. So I'm just going to select Macintosh HD, and that is going to be great. Now, every time I close Finder and open Finder, here you can see it is automatically opening up in Macintosh HD. Again, if you don't like it, you can follow the same process, press Command plus comma and change it to your MacBook. So that's one setting that is very useful when you're using Finder for the first time. So here you can see now it's showing my MacBook Air. And this process is going to save you a lot of time. Initially, you may have to invest a few seconds, but then it's going to save you minutes. The next setting you need to know is show your hard drives on desktop. So this setting may vary according to what you plug into your Mac, but it has to be enabled if it's not showing. The second thing you need to know that once you plug in your hard drive, your SD card or whatever external storage there is, and then you can't see it on desktop or in Finder. There may be a reason for that, which is going to be very simple. A, the hard drive is not properly plugged in. There is some issue on that side. The second thing is you haven't gone to Finder, and on the left side, as you can see, there are many options, but external drives is not a ticked option. So we have to go to Finder. Again, we go to settings, which is going to be the same process as before. And here you can see hard disk is not selected. So if I click on hard disks, it is going to show me Macintosh HD. If I uncheck it, it's going to go away. Similarly, if I uncheck this, external disks are not going to pop up every time on desktop or in Finder every time I try to plug it in and explore the hard drive. Similarly with CD drives and connected servers. Given that I work in the content creation field, connected servers are very important to me, and depending on what you work with, connected servers could be very important to you as well. So you want to make sure that connected servers are also shown on here. The next thing you want to do is choose what shows up in the sidebar. So I have a lot of things going on in the sidebar. By the way, the sidebar is the left window or the left side of the Finder that shows share folders, application, your tags and everything like that. But if it is too much, every time you have to squint your eyes, look at what you're doing and then open a folder per se. This also can be changed. Again, the process is same, command plus comma, and that is going to open up Finder settings as you can see. But now here you can see we have general, tags, sidebar and advanced. This time we want to go to sidebar. In sidebar here you can see we have multiple things to select from. So in my favorites, I have already selected application, desktop, documents and downloads. That is also one thing. Recent, let's say I don't want the shared folder, I can just uncheck it and it has gone away. And similarly, if I don't want to see my iCloud drive, if I don't want to see external hard drives, as I said, it may not pop up even if I uncheck this over here. So it may not show in Finder, but it may show on your desktop. So that is also one thing you need to know. So I don't want to know Bonjour computers. I can just uncheck it. I can deselect recent tags, and here you can see all the tags have gone away as well, and this gives me a much cleaner look. I'm also going to unpin a few folders that I don't need, and that is a much nicer, cleaner view that is not going to make you struggle for what you're looking for. If you work with multiple projects or your project has multiple subfolders, as most projects do, you also can find tags very relevant. So let's say I have multiple folders. As you can see, I have these untitled folders, which is fine. I will just rename them for you. So here you can see on desktop, I have now created multiple folders, about, I don't know, 11 of them, 12 of them, which is fine. So let's say these are all different projects as I've named them. Let's say I want to have project 1, 2, and 3 be one color, so I can give them a red tag. I am using macOS Tahoe, so I can just right click and then tag them. But if you're not using macOS Tahoe, I can just drag and drop it to these folders. So here, as you can see guys, I have already added these folders, about 12 projects. Let's say I want this project to have a specific tag. Let's say I want it to be green. I want project 10, for example, to be orange. I can do this for each of them. I want it to be gray, and that can be done as well. So which is very convenient. If I go to list view and select multiple, and then I can right click and select them, I want them all to be pink. And you have to come to list view to select multiple objects with let's say command and shift. It does not work as it does with Windows. You have to move them to list view and then select them. So as you can see, they have specific tags now. So every time I say purple, it's going to give me these projects. Every time I say red, every time I say yellow, it's going to give me this. Orange is going to give me this, and that is very convenient. However, if you want to add tags, you can also do that. You can just click on add tags over here. Let's say I want blue is already there. Let's say I want to add home over here, I can do that as well. I have work, I have important as well, and I can just tag these folders, and in the long run it's going to save you a lot of time by just clicking on these tabs and your folders popping up. So that is very convenient as well. Another thing you can look for is going to again Finder settings. Once we are in Finder settings, we want to go to the advanced tab, and over here we want to make sure to check show all file name extensions. Now why is that? As you can see, I have a PNG image over here, and if I am not able to see its extension, how am I able to tell properly that what it actually is? And that is going to trip you up with multiple documents, let's say PDF, docs, and all that. So in this case, you want to make sure that show all file name extensions is active. So every time you open up multiple files, we have this .png over here. If I go to downloads, here you can see I have web page, PDF, JPG, PDF, and all these can be seen. So you are very clear as to what kind of file this is, and that is very useful, very crucial, depending on what you are working with. Being new to Mac, renaming a particular file is very easy. You can just click on this particular file, hit return, and type in let's say image, hit enter, and it has been renamed. As you can see, there was no warning. Once you realize that you always see your file extensions, you are always able to know that which kind of file it is, correct? So now we are also going to enable a prompt which is going to ask us whether we are sure it's just a confirmation prompt that we really want to change the extension of something. So it may look something like this. So let's say I turn this to JPEG and it's not giving me a prompt, right? So we want to go to PNG, then we want to go to Finder settings, again same command plus comma, and then we have show warning before changing an extension. So we are going to check that as well, turn it off, and now what happens? So if I'm going to move this to JPEG again, and here it's going to ask me whether I want to change the extension from .png to JPEG, and that is what we are going to do. If we want, we can keep it PNG or we can change it to JPEG, and this is going to be a really useful prompt, especially if you are going to be renaming a lot of stuff. Extensions can be a bit tricky to understand, and if you're just going to delete that extension, that file may not be useful anymore. So I am just going to put it back to PNG, but that is basically how it works. So here you can see I'm going to use PNG in this case as well. Then we want to turn on confirm before emptying trash. So what does that do? So let's say I have come to downloads and I'm going to delete this PDF. So there was no prompt, right? It is just deleted a file. We are going to use command plus Z to bring it back, and we are going to go to Finder settings again, same procedure, and this time around we are going to be in advanced as well. The next thing we are going to turn on is confirm before emptying trash, and that is going to be useful, especially if you have deleted multiple things and then you are going to empty your trash bin. As you can see, I have it over here. So if I'm going to empty it directly, it's going to give me a prompt. If there is no prompt, it's just going to directly delete and your data might be lost forever, right? And here you can see that prompt comes up because I have turned on show warning before emptying the trash. If I'm to turn this off and then click on empty, it has now deleted all of the trash without warning, right? And that could be really annoying. depending on what you are trying to delete or restore. I'm just going to keep that on so that I just have a second chance at not deleting all my data without realizing it. So those are a few Finder settings that you have to know, guys. Hopefully this video has been helpful to you guys. If it has been, do make sure to drop a like, share and subscribe. See you as always in the next video. Bye bye.